Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 7 of Eden's Realm. So, as you can see behind me, I have done a little bit of building. So, what am I up to? What am I thinking? Well, the idea is I've decided on having 3 of these types of buildings around, and I was giving it some thought, and I thought it might be cool to go with a little bit of a different color. But I can't really decide if I like having the same color next to it or if I like having different colors. And if we decide to go with a different color, I don't really know what we would do for the fourth color because color theory tells us we have green up there, and so we don't want to have green on the building and then green on the flowers and leaves and stuff. So I don't know what I would use here. I've already used the dark blue, but what other terracotta colors we have, I don't really know. And then also, these are facades. I was practicing my facade building a little bit, and my perspective. You could see I was placing different blocks, figuring out where to stand, because if I stand below, you can kind of see underneath there, which I don't have blocks yet. So there's that as well. But I don't know exactly what I'm going to do for this yet. I'm leaning more towards the single colored buildings, and then we'll have some sort of difference here. But who knows? I'll figure it out. The idea for what we're going to do here in the center, though, is I'm thinking we're going to have some sort of just, it would have been like a simple outdoor plaza, because I'm envisioning like these 3 buildings are all connected, right? And so I'm assuming that they'd have like some sort of like garden area out here. What I'll probably do is I will probably put a tree right about in here with like a circle of path around it, and then paths leading off to the other buildings, and then one to the road, I'm thinking. So I'm going to be giving that a little bit of thought, but building the tree will probably be the most interesting, but also the most difficult thing to do. And then I got another idea. I'm full of ideas today. You can tell my creative mind is working overtime right now. I need to pay it a little bit extra. But back here, I'm thinking we're gonna have like a sewage drain, like kind of it's not a water filtration area. It's a water holding area, holding pond. I forget what they're called, but like behind all the big buildings with a ton of asphalt, back here you'd normally find like a little pond. And so I'm thinking along this edge of the building we're going to have some rocks that are holding it up, and then we'll do like a little bit of like a marshy area back here. I got to give it a little bit more thought of how I'm going to do it, because I'll need to fill that in over there a little bit. But yeah, creative brain is working right now, which is nice because normally it doesn't. We got that on the to-do list, and then also, since we are almost ready to go into 1.21, we're not there yet. We might actually end up into it this episode. You can still see we are back all the way in 1.22, which came out. Did that come out over a year ago now? I don't know. It's been a while. But yeah, I'm gonna be giving it a little bit of thought. But today, for our technical project, once I build some stuff here, we're going to be doing an Enderman farm, because the raid farm won't work as an XP farm anymore, and we'll probably have to shut that down completely. So before that happens, I want to get a simple XP farm set up, which means Enderman farm. So going to the end. And just a little while later, the first part is done. I haven't started on that one, but I actually have completely finished this one here. And I'm really liking how it's looking. It's a little bit more, I don't know if exotic is the right word, but it's a little bit more something compared to the other one. And it's about the same height. That one's a little bit taller. Obviously, no details, no flora and fauna on it yet, but I'm really liking how it's looking. The one angle that I'm not a huge fan of is from back here, but I think I've been giving it some thought, and I think I'm gonna have a logo that I'm gonna put on these buildings, because they're all connected, right? And so That would also give us something to put over here on this side of the building here where it's not super detailed. I still need to finish up the flora and fauna, words are hard, on this building here. You can see basically none of this side has anything. But since I decided that I wanted to put some sort of symbol here, I'm gonna wait and then do that after. I need to give a little bit of thought. I don't think it's not gonna be like anything recognizable, but I do want to make it distinct, and we might use that idea for some other builds later. But I guess it's now into that one, or maybe we go. I'll tell you what. Let's figure out what we're gonna do for the Enderman farm. All right, so we're out in the end, and I've set up just a little bit of a demonstration. But whenever you are building a farm, you really need to consider three different questions for how you want to build the farm and the best way to go about it. And the end is making end sounds, which is enjoyable. Those three questions are: how fast do we want the entities to come in? So that involves how much spawning space do we need, and how are we going to transport them to the killing chamber? How quickly do they die? That's involving, are they taking any damage before? Are they are we going to use a specific type of weapon to kill them? How are we going to do that? And then lastly, it's how do we want to collect the loot, and how much loot are we going to get? And so what I'm going to do here, I will replace these, and we can see up here we have spawning spaces up top and down below. So now if the Endermen are down below, it's faster to get them to the killing chamber here. But if they are up above, it's easier to get them to low health because they will fall and then take damage, making them a one-hit kill. So what do we want to do? How do we want to go about it? My idea for the farm is we're going to have a large platform up top where we move all the Endermen into a central location, drop them down into the killing chamber to where they're a one-hit kill, and then from there we can manually collect the loot. It's not a very new design, but it does work, and that's the important thing. I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel here. I'm not looking to make something that's never been made before, because Enderman farms are kind of old hat by now. But we do need something that will fit our needs, and what I have in mind, I think is going to work well. And after just a little bit of time, I have a complete farm that is up and running. So all of the Endermen get down to 1 health. I think I'm still getting hit a little bit, but they could just be getting angered. I just have to make sure I don't move too close. But yeah, I'm super happy with the farm. I got an on-off button here, so what you can see is I have a double piston extender back there and a single piston extender right in here that actually, let me just go into creative. It allows for the Enderman to just fall straight through, nice and simple. A little bit of redstone around the back. It's not the most compact, but it is my redstone, and I'm really happy with it. I think I'm going to throw some trapdoors right here, because now I can't walk this way unless I crouch. But if I do want to end up... Ooh, I'll have to do something about that. I'll give it some thought. Maybe something different will go here. But if I want the ender pearls right now, I have to be a little bit sneaky, and I have to kind of finagle my way in there and get them. There's no good way to pick them out. But then again, one of the reasons that I'm willing to build the farm like this is I don't have a lot of need for the ender pearls, and so it's not one of the main concerns, and having this be easy to turn on and off is a whole lot more important than being able to collect shulkers full of ender pearls. The spawning platform up at the top is really big, which allows it to spawn lots and lots of endermen. And then up here we just have a named endermite sitting in a minecart on top of this iron bar, and they all run towards it. And since there's trapdoors here, they fall down, and it's nice and simple. There's not a whole lot of redstone going on, and it's just simple game mechanics, right? So I had a professional YouTube moment, and I managed to build everything without recording it. So instead, here's a picture of some dogs. Yay! Okay. Anyways, I built the thing. It's short, quite a bit shorter than these two, and I like it this way. I decided that having it be quite a bit shorter allows us to get a little bit of variation in our skylines. And if you look at it from here, you can see you get like a tiered shape. And then if you go from this angle over here, you kind of get a symmetrical shape. And while I'm not like 100% a fan of it, I think it looks good. And if they were all roughly the same height, kind of like these two are, I don't think it would look very good. Sun is just beginning to rise, and you should be able to get a good view of what's going on here. I have a whole lot more intricacy in this. Is I took a step back from what I was doing here and threw some more stuff together, and so we have some really big connecting pieces, and like you can see this entire cube is one thing and it stretches through, and then this cube here actually goes through this cube all the way down into this one. And yeah, you can see I'm still missing some stuff. Oops. But I really like how it looks overall, and I think once we naturify it, get it uh, to this version, I think having these three are going to look really good. And already, like this view with the sun behind it, I think it just looks really good. Right, like that. But yeah, I need to do something about that. It's okay. Whenever we get to 1.21, we'll do something. I promise. Okay, maybe not right away, but it'll get done eventually. And speaking of being ready, I am ready to go and build this internet farm. I've got all the stuff that I need, all kinds of bits and bobs in there, and I'm ready to go. So enjoy the music, and let's get this over with. I'm gonna take a couple seconds and put some of these antennas on top of the new buildings that we have. But I also want to take a second and talk a little bit about my faith, because the past couple of months they haven't been super easy, but they have been really good. And I think one of the most important realizations that I've come to is the fact that Jesus died for us so that we could have life. And I think it's really important for us to focus on Him and put Him first in life so that we can have life. Because He says that if you love your life in the world, you will lose it. But if you don't care for your life, you get to keep it for eternity. And so I think it's just really important that if you're feeling down, if you are feeling like that this life in this world is not worth it, it's okay, because Jesus came to give you life, and He's going to give you something better than you could ever imagine. So I put together a layout for what I want this pondish area to look like. I don't actually think I want to have that much water in it. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is use a mixture of mud and mangrove roots, maybe some coarse dirt, and maybe a little bit of mycelium. I don't know exactly yet, but I want to make it look as if it's wet without actually covering it in water. But we're going to have like a retaining wall here, which means that I'm going to have to build up the dirt to right about in here. Then we'll have the retaining wall with dirt coming along down this way. And that should hold the water in, and we may put like a drain out of that. I'm not entirely certain what we're going to do there, but we'll have to wait and see. I need to do a little bit of work on the block palette for this area, but I'll bring you back in whenever I have this figured out. So I've got a little bit of good news and bad news. The first good news being that I have figured out what I'm going to do for the mods. I have found the updated versions that I'm going to need. They're not actually by Massa. They are a little bit of a ported version. I don't remember the full details on it, but that's what we have, and they shouldn't be bad or anything, so I have to get those set up, but we're not going to have time to do that today. The second good news is that I actually have joined a Minecraft server. It's a server full of other Christians, and we're actually playing Vault Hunters. So you may remember I did a series, actually, I did two series on that over a year and a half ago, I think now. And while I enjoyed it, at the end of it, it just wasn't really worth the time invested for me to enjoy playing it. It's really a game that needs to be streamed or just needs to be played a lot while not making content on it. And so I don't know if I'm going to make content on this server or not, but I may stream if I do anything, so keep an eye out on that. I will probably stream to YouTube, but it may be to Twitch. I'm not 100% certain on that, but we'll have to wait and see. So keep your eye open for that, and yeah, I'll see you around. So I got the basis down for what we're gonna say the old pond looks like. And we do have to remember that we are going to be going through, and I guess we'll stick with naturifying it. I don't know exactly what that's gonna look like, and I've kind of already started it, and so I was originally thinking that I wouldn't fill it in with water at all, but now I'm thinking that some water might have seeped in over the many years that this has been abandoned, but I need to give it some thought. I really do like the highlights, but I think especially right whenever they're in the bright sun, they stand out quite a bit. Whenever they're in the shadows and you're not like being the sun isn't shining on you a lot, I think it's really easy to like this, but with the bright sunlight, I just don't think it looks very good. I may put some water in, we will have to see, but mostly I just need to focus on the retaining wall. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do there. I don't know if I need to make it straighter. Probably do need to put in some stones and some concrete blocks to make it feel a little bit more physical, but we're definitely going to have to put a lot of bushes down, put a lot of trees, because they would definitely grow very quickly here, and so I need to give it some thought. But we'll have to wait and see. This netherrack is going to have to move as well, and all of that is really just going to take time. So I think I'm going to work on that in between episodes, but hopefully whenever we come back, I'll have this moved and we should have a better plan for what's going on out here. I also kind of made the promise last time to do something about those sheep, and it's not going to happen. But I think it's going to be okay. They're going to go into one of these buildings, I think. I don't have an exact plan for it, but if we kind of peek in here, there's enough room to kind of snake in some of the normal sheep pens that you need to get wool, and I think it'd be pretty easy to fit them in here. We can probably fit two in there, three or four right in here, another five or six right over there. And I want to try and get at least all 16 colors, and then probably some duplicates if we can in this building. And then over there, I think, or no, sorry, over there, I think I'm going to try and do some sugarcane and bamboo. I'm not entirely certain what that's going to look like, and we may also end up having to supplement for some actual farms down below. I don't really want to do that, but if the farms that we build are too slow, then we may have to do that. But as of right now, I do want to try and keep everything in the buildings because I think that fits with the theme. But anyways, I am running out of time, and I think I'm at a good stopping point. As of right now, we still have quite a bit to do, obviously, and I've just kind of gotten started on a lot of projects today, but finishing up the Enderman farm is really good, and I'm happy with where we are at. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I do hope that you have enjoyed it, and I will catch you again in the next episode. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.